Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, by Dr. John Gray. Introduction. In Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, Dr. John Gray presents a timeless relationship guide that reveals how men and women think, communicate, and behave differently. With empathy and wisdom, he explains how understanding these differences can dramatically improve communication, deepen emotional intimacy, and reduce conflicts in romantic relationships. Whether you're married, in a relationship, or looking to understand the opposite sex better, this book offers practical insights and strategies to strengthen any bond. It's especially powerful for modern Indian couples navigating love in a fast-changing society, where traditional values meet evolving gender roles. Chapter 1. Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. Why do we often feel misunderstood in our relationships? Not only do men and women communicate differently, they think, feel, perceive, react, respond, love, need, and appreciate differently. The title itself is symbolic. Men and women, Gray says, are like beings from different planets, wired so differently that conflict is inevitable unless we learn to understand one another. Men value competence and achievement. They often solve problems alone. Women value connection and expression. They thrive on sharing and empathy. These innate differences lead to common relationship frustrations. In many Indian households, a husband may remain silent after a tough day, seeking solitude, while the wife may expect him to share his feelings. She feels ignored, he feels pressured. Understanding these differences can ease this miscommunication. Chapter 2. Mr. Fix-It and the Home Improvement Committee. Why do men rush to offer solutions while women just want to be heard? When she is upset, he thinks she is looking for solutions. When he is upset, she thinks he wants to talk. Men want to fix problems. Women want to be heard. When a woman shares a problem, she wants empathy, not a solution. Men misunderstand and jump to fixing, leaving women feeling invalidated. The chapter teaches the importance of listening without trying to solve. It also guides women not to offer unsolicited advice, which men often interpret as criticism. A working woman complains to her husband about her rude boss. He immediately suggests, just quit the job. She feels dismissed. What she really wanted was, that must be tough. How did you manage it today? Chapter 3. Men go to their caves and women talk. Why do men withdraw when stressed while women seek conversation? To feel better, Martians go to their caves to solve problems alone. To feel better, Venusians gather in groups and talk openly about their problems. When stressed, men withdraw into their cave to think things through silently. Women, however, need to talk to feel better. This creates confusion. Women chase men for emotional reassurance while men feel suffocated. This chapter teaches patience and timing, giving space to men and support to women when needed. After job loss, a husband becomes quiet. His wife worries he's upset with her. In reality, he's retreating to solve his problem. Giving him time to process, while assuring him of her support, leads to better emotional balance. Chapter 4. How to motivate the opposite sex. What truly motivates men and women to love and give? Men are primarily motivated when they feel needed. Women are primarily motivated when they feel cherished. Men thrive when they feel appreciated and needed. Women thrive when they feel loved and cared for. Criticism or taken for granted behavior kills motivation. The chapter outlines the power of small gestures, kind words, and acknowledgement to keep love alive. A husband who repairs a leaky tap expects acknowledgement. When his wife praises him warmly, he feels motivated to do more. Similarly, a wife who cooks after a long day, when appreciated, feels emotionally nourished and more connected. Chapter 5. Speaking different languages. How can we avoid miscommunication despite good intentions? The biggest communication problem is we do not listen to understand. We listen to reply. Men and women often use the same words but mean different things. Women use words to express feelings. Men often take words literally. This leads to misunderstanding. Learning to decode the emotional intent behind words and not reacting defensively can transform conversations. When a wife says, "You never help me," she means, "I need more support today." The husband hears it literally and gets defensive. By understanding her need rather than arguing over words, harmony is restored. Chapter 6. Men are like rubber bands. Why do men sometimes pull away even when the relationship seems fine? Men periodically need to pull away before they can get close again. Men go through a cycle of intimacy and independence. After feeling close, they instinctively pull back, like a stretched rubber band. If women chase or panic, it breaks the cycle. When given space, men bounce back with renewed affection. Understanding this rhythm prevents unnecessary conflict. A wife feels hurt when her husband becomes emotionally distant for a few days. By giving him space, she sees him return with renewed energy and affection, without conflict. Chapter 7. Women are like waves. Why do women's emotions fluctuate without warning? A woman's self-esteem rises and falls like a wave. Women go through emotional ups and downs, often without any external reason. These emotional waves are natural and allow emotional healing. During her low phase, a woman needs empathy, not logic or fixes. Accepting these phases with love strengthens the relationship. A homemaker, feeling overwhelmed with kids and household chores, breaks down in tears. Her husband calmly listens and hugs her. This understanding makes her bounce back faster and feel closer to him. Chapter 8. Discovering our different emotional needs. Do men and women value different emotional expressions in love? What makes a man feel loved is different from what makes a woman feel loved. Women feel loved through empathy, understanding, reassurance, and care. Men feel loved through trust, acceptance, appreciation, and encouragement. When each gender tries to love in their own way rather than in the partner's language, it causes a disconnect. Adapting to each other's emotional needs is crucial. A wife constantly checks in on her husband, thinking it's care. He feels controlled. When she starts expressing trust instead, he opens up more. Similarly, when he starts asking about her day and listens patiently, she feels seen and loved. Chapter 9. How to avoid arguments. Can we disagree without turning it into a hurtful fight? The way couples argue can make or break a relationship. Arguments escalate when emotional needs aren't met. The chapter teaches conflict resolution. Pause, reflect, speak with compassion, avoid blame, and express feelings calmly. Timing matters. Delaying difficult discussions until both are calm creates space for love, not war. An argument about in-laws escalates into name-calling. Later, the wife writes her feelings in a letter, which her husband reads calmly. They talk it out with love instead of anger. Chapter 10. Scoring points with the opposite sex. Do small gestures matter more than grand ones in love? Little things count. It's the thought that matters. Women score every act of love equally, whether it's a rose or a diamond. Men tend to focus on big gestures. This mismatch causes frustration. The solution? Frequent, small gestures of love, helping in chores, listening, offering compliments, matter immensely. A man who helps with dishes, brings tea, or remembers anniversaries earns more love points than an occasional grand gift. For the woman, consistent emotional support counts more than rare extravagance. Chapter 11. How to communicate difficult feelings. How can we express pain without hurting the relationship? When feelings are suppressed, love disappears. Gray introduces the love letter technique to express hurt, anger, and sadness constructively. By writing rather than confronting, emotions are released safely. Following up with positive feelings restores love. This tool is especially helpful when emotions run high. A woman writes a heartfelt note to her husband about feeling ignored. He reads it without reacting defensively and responds with care. This rebuilds emotional trust quickly. Chapter 12. How to ask for support and get it. How can women ask men for help without sounding demanding? The more women ask men for help, the more helpful they become. Men respond best to direct, respectful requests. Women often hint or expect men to just know. The key is to ask clearly, appreciate sincerely, and avoid nagging. For men, fulfilling requests gives a sense of worth. Instead of saying, "You never help," a wife says, "Can you please help me clean the balcony today?" He feels empowered and appreciated, and more willing to help again. Chapter 13. Keeping the magic of love alive. Is lasting love possible in long-term relationships? Love is magical, and it can last forever if we learn to communicate and grow. The final chapter reminds readers that love is not automatic. It must be nurtured. Understanding gender differences, showing consistent care, and evolving together keeps the spark alive. Relationships need constant effort, emotional safety, and mutual growth. An older couple from Pune celebrates 30 years of marriage by weekly date nights and gratitude journaling. Their love grows because they chose to nurture it intentionally. Key takeaways from the book. Men and women are emotionally and biologically different. Respect that. Men need to feel trusted and appreciated. Women need to feel loved and heard. Communication styles are different. Listen to understand, not to reply. Small acts of love matter more than occasional big gestures. Conflict can be resolved with patience, timing, and empathy. Emotional honesty, without blame, strengthens intimacy. Love must be actively nurtured to stay alive. Hope you have enjoyed the learnings. We will meet you with a new book. Thanks for patient listening.